So
Dude, this is awesome, man. I'm so excited, man. I can't thank you enough for, kind of I don't know, in the Bitcoin space we call it orange pilling somebody. I don't know what you guys call it in the flat earth space when
wait,
you
hold on
know.
a second. Let's start the show. Say this on the
Oh,
show.
okay.
All
I
right.
thought we were. I thought the show already started. All right.
Maybe it already did. Maybe I'll just leave all of this. All right, go ahead. So here we are. We've last time we did a show was when? Year?
Gosh, was that back in November? Yeah, it was a long
Yeah,
time
a
ago,
while
man.
ago. Yeah. So thanks. What's been going on? Tell me what's happening. I like your logo behind you.
Yeah, back in I got my crypto shows back up and running now, man. I just want to tell you thank you. I don't know what you guys call it in in the crypto space we call it orange pilling somebody. I think in the political space we call it red pilling. I don't know maybe blue pilling or flat earth pilling or whatever you guys call it, but
It
since
depends
you
on
had me
it.
on the show.
It depends on the style. Sometimes we call it flat smacking, but it's the same thing. Blue pilling, red pilling, whatever you want to call it.
Yep, yep. So since you guys did that, man, I remember the first show we did. Not that I was ever like cared if I got any heat for it, but there were so many people in the chat and in my shows the next day and tagging me on social media. The Earth's not flat. The Earth's not flat. Over the last 6 months or a year, however long it's been, even yesterday, I was thinking the text yesterday. I got a message and I get these all the time of people like, bro, you were right. The Earth is flat, dude. Like, and he's like, or I don't know what the Earth is, but I know it's not round, man. You were on it.
Yeah.
He's like, like, people apologizing and being like, once we give you just give somebody a little bit, right? If they actually go and do their own research and start thinking it through, it becomes abundantly obvious. And they're like complete opposite. They're like, I can't believe I ever thought it was round.
We all have the same story. First, we laughed at it. Second, we made fun of people that brought it up. We refused to look. Then we looked. Then we're like, oh my god, it's not a globe. Flat is the answer. Flat. What is flat? No, there's hills and valleys and troughs and elevations. It's a topographical level, non-rotating plane. But people, the same thing happens. People get it. They scream at you. They act like a child having their ball taken away, and
Mhm.
then they wake up and then they apologize. They come back, and it's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Are you familiar with Anarchapulco, the conference in Acapulco?
No, I'm not.
So it's one of the biggest freedom conferences every year. It was this 10th anniversary, and they finally invited a flat earther, me. And there's 50 speakers, everybody. I mean, you probably know more than half of the speakers, and they're all anti-globers. They're all either full on flat or I don't know what it is, but it's not a globe. And
Yeah.
the audience, you know, was 95+% flat. I was like, what the heck happened? I was kind of excited to go to a conference with 95% ballers so I can,
Yeah.
flat smack them as we were just talking about. So
It's
uh,
what is your wait, you gonna want to finish that one? I didn't know
no,
if you were
I
done
was
there.
just gonna make I was just gonna make a point. Like I said earlier, I said when you take a ball away from a baby, that's what happens, and then let that baby grow up, and this is what happens. People don't want to let go of their ball, and that it sounds funny, but it's true. It's really
Oh,
true.
it's so
The
true.
foundation of your life is built around a ball. Think how much is built on it. Your pride, the moon landings, right?
Mhm.
The feats of technology and then all of the movies, all of Star Wars, Star Trek, all of the movies that we all love, all of that is ripped away from you. It's actually not completely ripped away because it's changed. It becomes actually more reality, right? Because on a flat earth, extraterrestrials are way more possible and close than in a ridiculous heliocentric world. So good. Sorry.
No, I think you're 100% right, and I kind of been having the same thing in the Bitcoin space with about currency, trying to convince people that the U.S. dollar is this giant Ponzi scheme. It's backed by absolutely nothing, and people argue and debate you on, and just it's like you're arguing for what if you're right, what are you arguing for though? Like, do you understand? Like, you're arguing for a
Let
made up
me
make
let
believe dollar? Like,
I don't. This we didn't come on to talk about crypto, but I want to talk about crypto for a couple of minutes. I want to ask you a question.
yeah, let's do
So
it. Let's do it.
a lot of people say, Bitcoin was made by the CIA. Maybe it was. I don't know. We don't know. But so was the friggin' internet that we're using to spread truth on. And I think
Yeah.
that got out of control. So if Bitcoin was created to lead us into some digital currency or some CBDCs, which I don't think is the case, but it morphed into privacy coins. It morphed into a whole bunch of things, and the cat's out of the bag. And so people say, well, blockchain, it's not good. You know what's not good is fiat currency with the leaders of our world, the psychopath satanic freaks that are sacrificing cows, on the eclipse and all sorts of stuff. They're the ones that are controlling the fiat. They're the ones that inflate it. They're the ones that create it. They're the ones that do whatever they want with it, where a cryptocurrency is set and everybody's in charge.
And think about it too, is it's Bitcoin's open source protocol, right? So it's been audited by the smartest minds in the world. We're talking about universities for the last 15 years, Harvard, Yale, MIT, like the smartest minds in the world have self-audited this thing. They've reviewed the code. There's nobody that's ever been able to hack it or break it or stop it or corrupt it. And for the first time in human history, whether the CIA created it or whoever created it, doesn't matter. The fact is that it's out there and it's incorruptible. For the first time in human history, in the existence of all of mankind, you have this technology that is going to provide wealth and a store of value for you to protect your wealth from a corrupt, tyrannical government. And that goes for anybody. The CCP can use it. The CIA can use it. You can use it. I can use it. But that's what makes Bitcoin
Drug
Bitcoin.
Traffickers can
we have this thing
anybody
that can't
can
be corrupt. Absolutely.
They're
it's
like,
for everybody.
Yeah. They're like, drug traffickers are using it. No, drug traffickers are using fiat. I mean,
you'd be a moron to use Bitcoin to do your drug transactions. You'd be an absolute idiot.
Right. I mean, it's so stupid. But the whole thing on crypto is it's better than fiat. I mean, that's the minimum thing that you can say about it. And I say, and for those of you that are listening that don't know me and they're like, oh my God, he's having a friggin' flat earther on. Listen, listen for a little while. 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. When I'm done, send Ryan 1 globe proof and I'll transfer you 3 Bitcoins. Make sure you send your receive address also. Okay. Yep. When you send that proof over, so we can just send it right over to you because we don't want any delay. Right. But you have to have
10 minutes. It'll be there.
1 proof of the globe. It's more like 20 minutes right now. Right.
Yeah. That's how Dave got me on this show. Right. That was the first thing he said to me. And I said, all right, dude, let's do it. I tell everybody that story. I go, man, this guy, I didn't believe it at first. And he goes, bring me on your show, have an open conversation with me, and you can ask me question after question. If you can just prove one proof that the earth is a ball, and I will send you $100,000. And it was actually 3 Bitcoin. I go, Bitcoin was like 33,000 at the time. So today,
now it's 210,000.
Technically, if I would have got that, I would have been loaded. And I sat there for 3 hours with this man, question after question after question. And you answered every one with detail. And by the end of it, I was like, I was just in awe. Like, I couldn't wake up to go tell more people about it the next day and have you on. I remember I was like, Dave, I want you on every week. And you're like, no, chill. Like, maybe not every week. It'll be too much.
Yeah, it'll definitely be too much. Here's the thing. Here's an analogy. I just came up with it. Saying that cryptocurrency is bad and evil and knowing nothing about it versus studying crypto, understanding what it is, what it can do, digging in how it works and all of that and fully understanding it. Who has a better opinion? The person that just goes, oh, I heard something on the news and it said Bitcoin bad, right? I heard Sam Bankman-Fried, but whatever. It's all a scam. You don't know anything. And that's what the globe is, right? The people that defend the globe have no idea of their model. They don't know their circumference. They don't know the diameter. They don't know how fast it's spinning. They don't know what orbit speed it's going. They don't know how far the sun is. They don't know how they figured out how far the sun is. They don't know anything. And they defend the globe. One of the big arguments is, oh, Dave, what is everyone a liar? Everyone's a liar. I'm like, no, you're not a liar. And you're defending the globe. And you couldn't answer any of the questions I just asked you about your globe. I'm not even asking you about the flat earth. I'm asking you about your globe that you're defending. You got nothing. Because if you knew a tenth of what I know, what you now know about the globe, you'd be a flat earther, right? And when I say flat earther, some people get triggered by that. It's a weaponized word, and that's why I use it, right? It's like conspiracy theorists, right? It's weaponized. Yep. And the reason I use it is because it basically brings you right to the point of what I want to tell you. And the idea that the earth is a globe is the dumbest thing. I had a great point. I just lost it. I use flat earther just because it gets your attention, and then you try to prove the globe, and that's where you fall flat on your face. Everyone does it. Every flat earther has the same story. If you look at at the app now. Look at my app, the friend finder. We're up to 143,000, almost 144,000.
Let's go.
When we were on, was it what were we like 80 or?
Yeah, you weren't even at 100 yet. It was like 89 or 90 something or something like that. It was
Yeah.
really so. And I want to add a little bit to that, Dave. You know, it's like people are like, well, I don't trust the blockchain, right? I don't understand the algorithm or the code. But yeah, do you know the code that runs the traffic lights? So you just blindly drive through this traffic light at 50 miles, 55 miles per hour because you assume that the algorithm that controls that traffic light, you trust that, right? Do you know the person that built it? Do you know how that algorithm works? No, but you drive balls out 55 miles per hour right through that stoplight every day, and you trust that algorithm. Bitcoin is very similar. Crypto is very similar, right? Like,
right. I mean, people say it's like the gun rights thing, right? People are like, guns are bad. Well, it depends on who's got the gun. It depends on what's going on, right? And if you outlaw, not to get into a gun thing, but if you outlawed guns, the only people with guns will be the people that don't pay attention to the rules.
Yes, sir. 100%, my friend. 100%.
Oh my God.
It's like that sheriff that came on in Texas or in Florida last week after the home invasion. He said, you know what? In Florida, we advise you shoot them. It'll actually save us taxpayers money. So if somebody breaks into your house, we actually encourage you to shoot them. In the last, like, since that press conference, like, home invasions are down by like 25 or 50% in Florida.
Nice.
Isn't that wild? Just one.
Guns
help people. Yeah. But anyways, let's go. I'll let you go. I know you got this new app coming out. Tell me about it.
Well, it's not the new app. It's called the Flat Earth
update
and Zodiac Clock app. You have my app, right? Do you have a referral
lifetime
code?
membership, bro?
What's your referral code?
Yeah.
What's your referral?
Oh, Matta, I believe it should be Matta. We'll throw it up here on the screen. Let me pull it up right here.
Matta.
Yep.
All right. So if anyone's listening and you download the app, it's $3, right? There is a subscription that you don't need to get, but I hope you do get it. It's $11 a year, but 95% of the app is non-subscription required, right? If you want to just be down and dirty and learn about flat Earth, but if you want to, it's a $3 one-time charge. But if you want to go into some of the higher features that actually use data and cost a lot of money, it's $11 a year. And make sure you use Matta, Matta, when it asks you if you ever have a code, and it just puts them on the leaderboard. So here's the top 100 people that are using the app, and that are referring the app. Kind of fun, and sometimes it wins you little prizes and stuff. But just a couple quick things. The app answers your frequently. The most important part is the frequently asked questions. Right? It's just loading because I just loaded it. And here are, like every question that you have is literally answered here. And when you click one of these, it opens up a playlist of videos. All of those videos are censored. They won't show up in your YouTube feed. If you Google Flat Earth, 50 pages of propaganda, right? Google my name, just my name. Flat Earth videos will come up having nothing to do with me, right?
Flat Earth Society, folks, pay attention. I have to remind people of that because they'll go and they'll be like, oh, I watched this video. And I go, was it by Flat Earth Society? They go, actually, it sounds really familiar. I think it was. I go, yes, that is the lie. That is the propaganda. That is the CIA trying to manipulate you into thinking that you're going to fall off the edge of a cliff. And that is not Flat Earth. You should really, I send them over to your channel. I try to get them to download the app. And they normally come back in a couple months and they're like, dude, you're right. And so a guy just yesterday just told me. And we weren't even talking about Flat Earth or anything. We were having a conversation. The conversation was over. And at the end of it, he goes, oh, by the way, the Earth's flat. I totally believe you now. You're right. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, it's funny.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's happening all the time. It's happening more and more. As I was saying, when I went to Anarchapulco, I was blown away that literally my job is done. I mean, it's harder and harder for me to find shows that don't at least question the globe model. That most of the people that sign up for my shows, I ask a question: do you think the Earth is a globe, flat, or unsure? They're either flat or unsure. And that's it. So, and if you're unsure, you're halfway there. So what I was going to trying to be a little quicker on my thing, but the Flat Earth Society, when you Google Flat Earth, you end up with a disk floating in space. I mean, this is the flat Earth. This is the balloon at 127,000 feet, right? The Earth isn't spinning 1,000 miles an hour below you. And when you Google flat Earth, this is what they show you. This is what they want you to find. This is garbage. This is nonsense. Look, if you Google flat Earth, you saw that, go, oh, stupid flat earthers, right? And then you're going to have all these different programmed information. Oh, well, it wouldn't work. Gravity would pull you towards the center. You'd have to lean over. That's all programming. None of that's true. because we don't look at gravity that way. So, um,
Uh,
just real quick on the app, new. I have right here this little star button. If you update your app, it's available now, and it brings you up featured full on flat earthers on different platforms, on X, on Twitter, on TikTok, and just if you're looking for new content, great stuff featured there. And these guys are all of them are fantastic. If you go there, you click one, you're going to be stuck. It's going to take you all day just to go through all of these amazing videos. And these guys add new stuff almost every day, if not multiple times a day. So, and this is stuff that you won't find by Googling. You just won't find it. Another thing I added was in the book section, we now have categories. So if I want to say, give me biblical. So I click biblical, and here are all of the books that are biblical-based flat earth. Pretty cool, right?
Yep.
Old World.
It's awesome.
Yeah, just so it makes stuff to find easier and support of the flat earthers and literally educate yourself. And then the other thing is the image search. Like if a lot of people, Dave, I need this image, I need that, or your presentation is great, but can you give it to me? I don't really have it like that, but this is the best way. Let's say you're talking to somebody about NASA, and you say, the founders are a bunch of an eclectic group of people. Like, what do you mean? Just type in founders, right? Boom. And here is the founders of NASA. You got Ronald Hubbard, founder of Scientology. You got a cartoon film producers, Walt Disney, an ex-Nazi, Werner von Braun, an occultist, Jack Parsons, and the wickedest man in the world, Aleister Crowley. Those are the founders of NASA, right? So when people are asking you stuff or when you're talking, you can find anything. You want to talk about Southern flights, just type in Southern, just start typing in Southern, and here are all of the flights. Here's Hawaii right here. And all of these flights from Australia to all over America and Mexico, they're all north of Hawaii. Go look on a globe. They should never be north of Hawaii, right? But on a flat Earth, they're north of Hawaii because the Earth is flat. So all different ways to pull up information. So especially for you, when you're looking for something, when you're talking to somebody, you can pull up an image. It's super powerful. And then the other thing, since we were on, we have video search now. You can just search. You're like, hey, I know we do. We'll search for if someone said, hey, where's your interview with Ryan Matta? I'm like, I don't know. I'd have to find it. So I'll just type in RYAN. Let's type Ryan. Let's see if that does it. Search, and it didn't come up. Look at that. Matt, how about Matta? M-A-T-T-A.
Yeah, let's give Matta.
Yeah. There it is. Boom. Matter of fact, there's there it
is.
There it is.
No shit.
It's so easy to find stuff. Like, hey, I heard Dave was on InfoWars. Bam, type in InfoWars, and there it is. So it's YouTube screwed up the algorithm in 2014, 15, 16. Flat Earth became the number1 search term over Trump, over Britney Spears, over everything. And literally within days of it becoming #1, you know what they did? You remember?
What they removed the like button. They completely shadow banned it.
They removed the scoreboard. There used to be, you search something, and it'll do how many hits, 330,000, results, right? 333. Now they're going to shoot me for saying that. I'm a shill. But they took down the scoreboard because they don't want people knowing, right? And also, the views on our videos, more people are watching them. I know when somebody clicks the notification of the daily video. Every day there's a daily video on it. Yep. I could see that 15,000 people clicked it in the first hour. Okay, I'll go to that video, and there's only 900 views. So you have to tell me that 15,000 people clicked the push notification that brought them to the app and didn't watch the video.
Bullshit. Yeah. Dave, they unsubscribed me from your channel. Like, I've never unsubscribed from anybody's YouTube ever. And like, just to know that, like, think about that, right? Like, you're trying to grow a business, you're trying to support a family, you're trying to do whatever you are trying to do as an American citizen, a free person in America.
Yeah.
And then there's this corporation who's not just, that's, in my personal opinion, that's no different than going into your business, reaching their hand in your till, and stealing money directly out of your money drawer. What
they do that.
is doing here is so beyond tyrannical. It's insane.
Yeah. All of my Owen Benjamin videos, all of my he became a flat earther live on the air over time. and there's so many compilation videos. They're all being removed by YouTube. They violate the terms of service. You object, you submit, and you appeal, and then they say 10 minutes later, like, nope, we checked, and we're removing. They're removing all of them, but my algorithm will pick it up on another platform. All my stuff, by the way, blockchain is everything that goes on YouTube is immediately put on my blockchain server, flatearthdave.tv. And if it take it off of YouTube, when you search for it here, that one will replace it in the search results.
Dave, what about Rumble, man? Rumble is blowing up right now. It took me so long to like make that move over to Rumble, but like
I'm on Rumble.
Why don't you start driving your people to Rumble instead of back to YouTube? This company hates you.
Well, here I'll tell you why. And the answer is first, I do every day. I put videos on Rumble, and YouTube, and they're all over the place. I'm everywhere. But the reason I'm on YouTube is because you go out to a normie. Like if you go to think about the entire world that uses YouTube, what percentage of them are flat earthers? Let's say 5%. Maybe it's even more. Maybe it's 10%. But what percentage of them are truthers? Very small amount. But on Rumble, what percentage of the people are truthers?
Oh, almost 100%. 80 or 90%, probably a lot.
So the thing that I do that's different than most flat earthers, or almost people telling me every other flat earther, is I don't preach to the choir. I go on other shows. I go outside. I'd rather go on a show with 1,000 subs than on a flat earth show with 100,000 subs.
Yep, smart
man. Because it's reaching new people. This is about waking people up. This isn't about people following me. This isn't about people buying my app, although my app is the best way to learn, teach yourself, and show others
100%.
About flat earth. This is about waking up people, right? And for those of you freaking out, getting ready, to flip out on Ryan, why does flat earth matter? The tragedy that's going on in Gaza, and what's the red cow they're going to sacrifice? They're probably going to
the red heifer, man.
The red heifer.
I want to get into that.
Insane. Oh, you want to get one and sacrifice it?
No.
No,
I wanted to drive this conversation because I want to cut this part out and put it on my LFA show tomorrow. What are your thoughts? So can you show us right there in your app what's going to happen during this eclipse, and kind of give us a play-by-play of like what's going to happen on the 8th? Because I want to show LFA, like, we're new to the whole eclipse thing. Is the sun passing in front of the moon passing in front of the sun? Like, we are your eclipse, and I don't think people even know, is it the sun passes in front of the moon passes in front of the sun? Like,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. So the point I was making with the craziness going on in the world, what difference does the shape make? That's how they got away with everything. Everything they get away with is because you're lost. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you are. You're spinning out of control. You're lost in space. You've lost your connection to creation. Okay. Now, people, I'm doing very well. I go on vacation for 4 weeks a year, and I make lots of money, and and I go to church, and okay, you're doing okay inside of the system, but there's more. Yeah. There's more, and you're missing the entire creation, right? You're missing
and
creation. Good.
And I want to add to that, because I started working, at the time of our conversations back then, I was working with Kyle Seraphin, Steve Brenn. These guys are FBI whistleblowers, retired or forced out FBI agents, right? And when I try to say like, oh, hey, the CIA is behind this, or this is a CIA job, or whatever, the number one thing that they tell me is they go, dude, like, there is not enough money in their budget to cover an operation like that. And I go, that is my point. If NASA is a front operation for the CIA, and these people basically have an unlimited black budget that nobody's auditing, nobody's inspecting, nobody's tracking, the amount of operations that they could carry out. And I don't know if it was me and you who were discussing this last time. Do you know how much of do you know what you can build an underground bunker for as far as like space? And then if you talk about billions and billions of dollars, the type of, fortresses and networks and these underground caves and taverns that the CIA could potentially have right now.
Well,
it's astronomical. You could build wasn't it like they could build the whole entire state of Hawaii over again for like $1 billion or $5 billion or something like that?
There's underground everything everywhere. I believe there's highways all across the world underneath the land, underneath the ocean. I mean, there's so much evidence of what's going on below us. And it's you're talking about the money. NASA isn't a front for the CIA. NASA is, in my opinion, is the World Intelligence Organization. They're the ones that literally are in charge of everything. Everything. They're in charge of everything. and they literally franchised their money laundering scam to other countries. It's the biggest money laundering scam. All
Wow,
of the music industry, from everything from iTunes to concerts to everything, all of the movie industry and all of the gaming industry added together is less than the space budget. And somebody said that you can add the NFL and the NBA and it's still less than space yearly. This is a massive laundering scheme. All right.
So where does Elon Musk come into that? How do you think that he fits into this? Is like, does he know? They would have to tell him, right? He would have to at some point know that he's not sending rockets to fucking space. So he's either on the inside. Is that how he's able to get away with what he's able to get away with? Because he has so much dirt on these people on both sides of it.
I go back and forth on whether he's completely, totally mind controlled, like from childbirth to just a player in the game. Gun to my head, I'd really have a hard time choosing, but I'd probably say he knows. But I could be wrong.
He has to know.
I don't know. I mean, he could be that stupid. Look at him. He's not a smart guy.
No,
right? And all of
you don't
the
make
stuff,
that much money being stupid.
Right? When he shot his Tesla into space. Well, I don't know if he really made that amount of money. I don't think he's the CEO of a tunneling company. Go look at that. The car company,
right.
Then he opens up a space agency with like $40 million. $40 million is a couple of hours of the budget of NASA. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. They get $80 million a day. So it's a half a day budget. And he started his own space agency with a half a day budget. Right. And so, when he launched this, his quote was, "You can tell it's real because it looks so fake," right? That's what he said at the press conference of the launching of his Tesla into space. You can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Isn't that incredible? But on my website,
I don't think I've ever seen the car go into space. I think I heard about that.
Dude,
I almost thought he was joking.
Dude, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. There's so many errors. There's so many flaws in it, right? But on my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down until you see the banner, a long, thin banner with a whole bunch of pictures of Elon. Watch that. It's a Greg Reese video, about 6 or 7 minutes long, and you'll see that everything he's been reported to have done is a complete and total fraud, right?
Think about Don Lemon in that. Is that Don Lemon in that car?
No, it's not, but it could have been. Right? So look at this. Look at the curve of the Earth. Now, when you're in the International Space Station, it's almost flat. You can barely see the curve. So this means that they're higher. Unfortunately, this is only 70 miles up. And the space station
is 110, isn't it?
Is 250. 240, right? 240, right? Where's all the land? Right? It's like they just showed this. How could we see the whole Earth that's at 70 miles high? It's so
you can't even see the curve at that height. That guy, or didn't he pull out like his basketball and was like, if you're,
that was only 20 miles. That was only 20 miles.
20 miles.
But the International Space Station, 240 miles, and when they show the horizon, it's barely curved, and the curve always changes. It always changes. So they're like, why does the curve change? It should never change. It should never change.
It's pear-shaped now, Dave.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was cracking up when I heard that. Oh, now the Earth's pear-shaped. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah. So since we're on this for a second, let's just look at Elon's. I don't know if I showed this on your last flight. This is so this is, let me show you this first. Hold on. Where'd it go?
Like a cigarette butt.
Hold on. All right. So why am I showing two things?
I get you all fucked up all the time.
Oh, you got me all screwed up
on your show.
Oh, that's a problem. I got to go fast going. All right. So this is a drive-by of, this is his rocket that's going to go to Mars. See how big it is? It's giant. It's not a tiny little rocket.
Yeah. Okay? I was there. I seen it.
It's giant, right? But this is a video. I edited it. I didn't speed it up. I just cut out some chunks, but I kept it all in order. Okay. So here's the rocket. Doesn't look that big to me, right? But maybe it's perspective, right? So this little dinky stand that it's on, it's shooting out a little fire, and edit. It's always, they never give us, look how slow it's going. Look at this little flame. This little flame is pushing this thing up. Now look at the angle of the camera, far camera, and then there'll be a close camera. The angle of the camera, we're seeing the side of it. So it's not up that high. If it went really high, you'd be looking at the bottom, right? You'd be looking at the bottom. So now look, the engines are turning off. Look at the smoke. Ooh, now it's pretty high. Look at how high it is. And now look how it's not that high. We're looking at the side. And now it's free falling. It's like 40 tons. And it's free falling. Look at the speed of the smoke and watch the edit, and the smoke speed will change. Now look at the speed of the smoke. Is this free falling like you threw it off the Empire State Building? 40 tons. Now look how high
it would be so odd.
Yeah, look how high it is all of a sudden, right? And now look, this thing's just falling, and look, ooh, look how high it is all of a sudden. Now watch, the engines are going to turn on. It's going to stand upright. It's going to be an edit. The camera